Hi, I'm Alex from NME, and today we're with the director of Rebecca, Ben Wheatley. How are you, Ben?
I'm good. How you doing?
Brilliant. So Rebecca was famously made by Hitchcock in 1940. This isn't a remake. Well, I just want to stress that. But are you a big fan?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. No, I've seen all his films, and but yeah, it was never meant to be a remake. It was always a new adaptation of the book.
Can you remember when you first saw his original version of Rebecca?
Yeah, I guess I would have seen it in the '90s in a massive glob of movies. I think I did most of my a lot of my kind of film watching in the '90s of just that would be like getting up in the morning and then watching like 6 or 7 films and then passing out and rinse and repeat. I would have got through all the Hitchcock stuff around that period and kind of a lot of film noir and 30s and 40s movies and Hawks and John Ford and all that stuff.
What did you want to bring to your version that you felt was different to the original?
I didn't really think about it in those terms. It's kind of the what I wanted to do is to bring the Jane Goldman script to the screen. And when I read the script against the book, I felt like she'd done some very interesting stuff in terms of the solving a lot of the issues that are in the book in terms of pace, but also that she'd kind of focused on, like, there's a central element to the book which is missing from the original adaptation, which basically changes the whole thing.
There's an intimate scene in Rebecca where several dogs are watching on as Mr. and Mrs. DeWitt get busy, shall we say. Was that a little nod to the famous scene in Sightseers?
Yeah, or I'm just obsessed with dogs watching people having sex. I'm not sure.
So it wasn't a conscious thing. You just like put it in. Because I was wondering.
It's funny watching dogs watching people having sex. Come on.
I mean, you're right. You're definitely not wrong. Can you tell us a little bit about the horror film that you shot in lockdown? What's it about? Maybe give us an update.
No, it's still under wraps, but it's terrifying.
More terrifying than being stuck in lockdown for 3 months.
I don't know if anything could be as terrifying as that. No.
And how was your lockdown? Did you kind of like the time to sort of get your teeth into whatever project you're working on, or was it kind of hell?
Well, it wasn't much different from my normal life. If I'm not filming, I'm kind of, I've self-imposed lockdown anyway, where I'm sitting indoors writing and being, occasionally going out for a walk, a quick walk. So it's weird that in that respect. And I think some jobs are like that, which don't really change massively. Obviously, the NME, it's probably a lot harder because there's no gigs, so you can't go and do any reviewing. So that's a big problem, But for a filmmaker or a writer or something like that, it's a reasonably solitary life you lead between projects. But the problem with COVID is it just pushes all the projects far into the future. That's the main worry. Yeah.
For a lot of people, lockdown was kind of a chance to maybe pick up some old kind of hobbies they had or new sort of things they can get into. Did you have anything like that? I know when we spoke to Seth Rogen recently, he got into pottery. Have you found a new hobby?
Yeah, well, my son learned the guitar basically while we were in lockdown, and we were all trying to do a bit of music, and I got a tiny keyboard, but sadly I was awful at it. I didn't keep up with it. We did play along to Escape from New York. That was the height of it.
Oh wow! Can we maybe see you composing your own music for your next film, maybe?
I think that no composer in the world is losing any sleep about that happening.
You could manage a Tubular Bells kind of theme tune, I think, maybe.
Well, I'm pretty good on the comb and tracing paper.
I think that might be an incredibly creepy soundtrack to your next lockdown.
I think it might get old after about 2-3 minutes.
I've got one last question. Can you give NME readers an update on Tomb Raider 2?
I think as everything got caught in the COVID kind of mud at the moment. So yeah, no is the short answer.
Okay, thanks so much, Ben. It's been lovely to chat to you.
Cheers, Alex.